Hello, Twitch and or YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. This stream is happening at the same time as the Next.js Vercel conf announcements, so I'm expecting very few people to join today. But that's alright, because I'm doing some stuff regardless of whether y'all are watching me. I'm just going to move this mic closer to the face. Alright. Today, what did I post? On Twitter, I want to start doing the breaking changes branch. So I'm real pumped about that. TypeScript-ESLint hasn't had a new major version in quite a while, and we've got a lot of breaking change issues that we'd really like to get merged into our new 6.0 release, which I'm hoping will come out in a couple, 3 weeks, but we'll see what happens. We don't have formalized documentation on how these work just yet. Ooh, I just noticed I meant to mark this PR as ready for review. But we do have a work in progress pull request that Brad started, and I'm picking up on a maintainer guide. So first off, I'm just going to go ahead and post this in the chat and on Twitter. Ooh, I have some messages. Started using the work in progress maintainer guide docs originally written by Brad. Oh, there we go. Here we go. We're going to have a nice new section on the website, maintenance guide. Adaran, hello. Glad to see you again. Thanks for tuning in. How are you doing? I hope you're ready and excited for issue management, versioning and releases, and other documentation notes, because that's what we're doing today. This, again, is not the most code-oriented stream, but that's going to be okay. Oh, my pleasure. Oh, that's right. I should shout that out. Is there a way to sort these by closed? Wait, no, wrong repo. Adaran, it was you in Refine Save Replies. You sent a pull request. Good stuff. Shout out. I'm going to put the clap emoji in the chat. There you go. Yeah, I'd say a good pull request. Well, one of the forms of a pull request that I really love is one that just removes code. Removing code is one of my favorite things as a developer. It makes the code base easier to manage. It makes it faster. It's just all around good stuff. Removes things that don't need to be there. Very good. So thank you for that. -8 lines. I want to say that at most jobs that I've been in, I have had a net negative line count from just getting real aggressive and excited about deleting old unnecessary code. It's a good time. On the versioning stuff, I posted in the chat, you can see on our open pull request, our maintainer guide, when we do a major release, there's a set of steps for it that I'm just going to go through today. Again, this isn't super code oriented, so if you wanted to watch someone write a feature or fix a bug, no worries if you leave. I see I just went from 5 viewers to 1. Or maybe that's just a Twitch bug. 5 viewers to 3. But I think this is really interesting and exciting even work, because major versions are all important. Oh yeah, I was going to say the Next.js conf. That's really exciting stuff. I just want to throw out there Turbo Pack. I am real excited about it. So someone and I was not this thing. Was talking about how Webpack's kind of old. Yeah, Turbo Pack. Server components. What else are you excited about? I can see their tweets to see they have almost 150k followers. Good for them. Viable clan member, hello. Thanks for joining. Ooh. Vercel acquired an analytics platform? Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh, good. Yeah, A/B testing is something that's a real big pain to do. Oh, they're doing fonts? Ooh, a new font system? Okay, this is... I feel excited about this. Oh, fun fact, I met Delba. She's really nice. Yeah, talking about the new router. Very good. Is that a Vercel necklace? Good. This fucking guy, look at him. That's like the quintessential Guillermo? I forget. I feel like I'm mispronouncing his name and I apologize, but like that's his outfit for conferences. Cracks me up. Yeah, oh, I love this. So much good stuff. Vercel is our future overlords. I look forward to I look forward to someone being able to compete with them because they're doing a lot of amazing stuff. Really excited about it. Yeah, I'm also real excited about the nesting routing thing. Tim Vercel. Internet. All right. Yeah, I was just complaining about Webpack font loading and routing to someone. I found another project that's doing. Okay, great. So, I'm just going to follow the steps right here under major releases. Old pack. Where's my drum emoji? Ah, I don't have one. Okay. So this branch should be created in the project repository, not your personal fork. So I'm going to do that. Branches. New branch. What? Delete that. New branch v6. All right. Add a new step to the CI workflow. That's this one. What am I doing here? Well, I know. I feel a little silly. I'm enthused about all this Vercel stuff, but you know what? I feel like Netlify, it's like we'd set it up a while ago, and maybe they gave us a bunch of free stuff. So Netlify is pretty great, though. I remember Netlify did to old hosts like Heroku what Vercel is now doing to Netlify. Like they provided this really comprehensive, great platform, and now Vercel is doing that to them. Even more comprehensive, even more great. So I hope Netlify, yeah, get your AOL CD and your Netlify deployments. Yeah, I mean, that's what keeps happening, right? And the internet, just tech in general, like people keep seeing what's there, finding the systemic issues, and then making a tool that fixes those systemic issues. And Vercel just keeps doing that. Like they keep doing system levels greatness, like the edge deploys, the Next.js project as a whole, now TurboPack, all this great stuff. I love it. Yeah. So edgy. All right. So I'm gonna check out the, well, lots of old stuff open. Close all that. So I'm gonna check out v6, get fetch, get check out v6, get pull upstream. Now can I check out v6? There we go. Branch v6 set to track remote branch v6 from upstream. Good. So you have to get pull upstream and then get check out the branch name. All right. But I need to, what do I need to do? Okay, so I need to, in the ci.yaml, find publish canary version. It should be exactly the same as publish canary version. So I'm just copy paste that, except the publish command should be this thing. Here we go. Name publish all packages to npm. Your full site 1 UDP packet. Looking forward to the day. That'd be great. All right. Oh, Pretty's mad about something. What's it complaining about? Oh man, look at all these underlines. Oh, it's probably that something's the same name. Yeah. Let's say publish v6. Publish the next major version. Wait, they're having an earthquake? What? Is it finally happening? Are you serious? I'm not seeing anything. I really wanted to get things done this stream today, but you know what? I'm just more interested. Oh boy. I'm truly more interested in this one still. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my god, it's only a matter of time before people start tweeting about Vercel, Next.js, Next.conf. Conf. Oh boy, that's so funny. All right. Let's see if I can get anything done with all these shenanigans going on. Not looking positive. All right. I'm actually going to, by the way, take notes. Oh, I really wish we had the Vercel preview because then I could add comments to this. Ugh, I want to add a comment that these steps need to also say things to add to step 2. Change the name, change the description. What a great feature. I don't know how many of y'all have seen this on the Vercel preview deploy previews. You can add little comments kind of like on Figma. Ugh, so good. All right, condition if get ref is, here we go. V major. All right. Still got a prettier complaint. What is it complaining about? Wee. Oh, that's just the latest one. All right. Nested mappings are not allowed in compact if. That's what it's complaining about. I don't know what nested mappings means, but I put if twice. All right. Lol. Okay. Okie dokie. Needs everything. So raise a new PR, merging new branch into main. This PR serves as the documentation changes as well as the place for directing feedback. Oops. All right. Git add all, git status. I don't know. I'm going to add step 3. I should also mention naming convention for initial commit / PR. What am I actually going to call this? I don't know, so I'm going to look up v5. See if there's a v5 branch. Oh, God. I don't want all of these renovate bots and dependa bots, so I'm going to do a cute little thing. I'm going to author app dependa bot and then put a minus in front. And I'm also going to minus author app / renovate. What? No, wait, we still have dependabot here? Let me open that in a new tab. How do we get rid... if anyone knows how to get rid of all bots, that would just really make my day. Because I don't want to see them here. It's all bots. V5. No. V5. Oh, one result in the search. Nope. V5. Here we go. All right. So found the 2 branches. Some sort of manual intervention for get workflows. Oh, is there something on the top of the file I need to add? This is from back when we called the main branch master instead of main. Silly. Oh, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Well, anyway, this PR contains all the changes for v5. Oh boy, look at all that. Okay. This was merged on October 11th, and this CI one was merged on October 21st, both in 2021. Okay. So I'm gonna say should this add the -v6 list to the top of CI? Like I see in this chore pull request, we add on push branches. So I'm going to say we should also add that little friend. And I see the naming convention there is publish canary version v5. So I'm going to say publish canary version v6. Publish the latest major version code as a canary version. All right. And yep, I see the learn of publish command does have -- canary there, so that's good. It means it will be published as a canary release, meaning the next version, not the current one. We don't want people accidentally seeing v5 published as the latest major. And yep, it's rc-v whatever. All right, so this is looking good. Git add all, git commit chore add auto canary release for v6. Oh, and the git checkout b is v6 canary auto release. Git push u origin v6. All right. I have done all the contributing steps. This does start on v6 major version. I had filed an issue somewhere about this. Author Joshua K. Goldberg. Major? There we go. Starts on version 50 or version 6, issue 5037, whatever. By the way, how's that Next.js comp doing? Are they still earthquaking? Is anyone dead? I hope no one died. All right. So I'm just going to reference this. Oh, they're breaking for lunch. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say that this is akin to that old PR, but for v6 and roughly following the guide in whatever number. Fun fact, the PR number gets in the URL 5874. Draft. Just going to add this to the milestone 6. Cool. Right, now that I'm also going to add a v6 branch. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to just things I changed from the guide based on the old PR. Made this branch PR first rather than all in one v6. Added to push branches list on top of CRAML. Ooh, a question about an ESLint plugin. This is one of my favorite ones. What do I think of the rules in this thing? An ESLint plugin to enforce the use of total functions. I don't even know what a total. Oh, this is a functional programming thing. Yeah, I'm not a big functional person. Nothing against it. I just haven't gotten around to getting too deep into there. A partial function is a function that is not defined for all possible arguments of the specified type. Examples in Haskell standard lib are head and tail, which is undefined for empty lists. Division, undefined. Okay, so this is the opposite of a total function. You want to avoid partial functions and always write total ones. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. If you're asking just out of general curiosity, I wouldn't recommend this because functional programming is kind of intense to go all in of. I would say there's a really good ESLint plugin functional that can get you part of the way there, which is like a better on-ramp. So let me just link that. But yeah, what is your context here, Viable Client Member? Are you a big functional person? Are you trying to get into it? What's your story? Also, do you have a Twitter? I'm interested in this. Aside, we're chatting about what is it? Where is the thing? Here we go. ESLint plugin total functions and ESLint plugin functional. Just open on GitHub. I'm never gotten too deep into functional programming in JSTS, but it's nice to see folks setting up lint enforcement for it. Oh, interesting. To increase your type safety, your type strength. I like that. Yeah, yeah. But I haven't used total functions much. But I'm just curious. Require strict mode. Yep, that's good. No unsafe type assertion. Oh, we have that in TypeScript-ESLint, I want to. Or no. Oh, interesting. No, we don't have this. Oh, I should read the docs. It's weaker than consistent type assertions when it's never, and stronger with its little type assertions. That's never. Interesting. Oh, and there's a. Oh, wait, there's an issue to fix it at the language level. How does this read me? Just curious the history of this file because. Oh my god, is this the satisfies? This new keyword satisfies. Let's see if someone's written a blog post on it yet. I'm gonna write one for my Learning TypeScript book. Yeah, that's so funny. There we go. Anyway. Where is it? Doo-doo-doo. So yeah, no unsafe type assertion that looks good to me. Like I would even say we should probably include that in TypeScript-ESLint. So new TypeScript operator coming out in the next TypeScript version, and it should be like 3 weeks. They're tentatively scheduled for November 15th. If you go to GitHub, Microsoft TypeScript issues, they always pin the iteration plan for the next one. November 15th, TypeScript 4.9 final. So you can already try it out, actually. They've got a beta release. 4.9 beta. Yeah, satisfies is great. It's really good when you want to declare something that is adhering to a particular type, but you want it to still have its own more specific type. Like palette should satisfy either string, or rather each property of palette should satisfy either string or an RGB tuple, but you don't want to explicitly say that, because then every property on palette is going to be explicitly typed as string or RGB. You want to still be able to infer that, okay, red is still the tuple, green is still the string. It's not the same as, which is really nice. I'm so excited. I'm gonna bump it up on my to-do list. I'm gonna write a blog post on this real soon. It is between as assertions and explicit type annotations. In the satisfies form, palette is still enforced as satisfying record, but you still, in addition to making sure it satisfies this type, you still get these more specific type information that palette.red is the tuple and green is the string, which you can't do just with a declaration like this or with inferred types. Yeah, we need people. It's a really good example. Props to Daniel Rosenwasser, who wrote this, and whoever helped on the team. But I think it's a good idea for everyone to use slightly different examples when possible, because some examples work better or worse than other people. This one actually didn't really work for me at first. Funny enough, speaking of Vercel, satisfies is really, really great with get server-side props, get static props, and similar in Next.js. Because you want to be able to say that your get server-side props function Yes, absolutely. We'll definitely explore it in reference to as const and such. So like get server-side props, you want to be able to enforce that the function adheres to a particular interface, the get server-side props type from the Next.js types. But you also want to be able to let TypeScript infer what those props are typed as. Like if you put an object literal here, it should be that like you can refer to the type of that object literal as like a type whatever equals get props type from the type of my get server side props. So that's really exciting stuff. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Really excited. Anyway, back to bans unsafe assignment of read-only values. Yeah, I mean, these look good. Like I really like these. I would even say like if you find any of these useful, file an issue on TypeScript-ESLint. Like, a lot of these seem like just good common sense rules for TypeScript. And also, awesome ESLint is a great list of ESLint plugins and similar that this should be on. I don't think it is. Yeah, I mean, file an issue there if you want it on. +1. Viable client member, are you Daniel Nixon? This person? No worries if you want to be anonymous. All right, so I'm on the V6. Oh my God, I have so many branches locally. Yeah, so I'm on this V6 version. Get push you. All right, so now there's a V6 branch. So any breaking change PR should have their target branch switch to this branch. So it's going to divide these changes as breaking changes. The first line of the PR description must read as breaking change : It is important to note that when merged, the commit message must also include breaking change as the first line in order for learner to recognize it as a breaking change of the release notes. If you miss this, it just means more manual work when writing the release documentation. Ugh, I do hate manual work. And that also reminded me I had started in this PR mentioning the things I did. All right. Additions to step 2, additions to step 3. Okay. And let me just tweak this. All right, where am I in the thread? Set up the PR, or sent a PR to set up canary releases for our C release candidate here. Boop. And in the chat. There you go. All right. Now, any breaking change PR should have their target branch switch to this. So that's a nice little search that I'll do here. Pull / Josh Goldberg to the autofill author Joshua Goldberg. And then I also want to add label breaking change. So I'm just going to merge mine first because I'm more familiar with them. Oh boy, trying to learn management at work lately, but it feels like herding cats. Yo, welcome to managing people. People are the worst. The smart people are hard to control because they know better than you. The dumb people, no offense to dumb people, are hard to control because they don't take your advice. Everyone is both smart and dumb in ways that you won't understand, but still have to have empathy for. I have dabbled in management and I'm not a fan, but I greatly respect people who are good at it and or try hard and or want to do it. Out of curiosity, is there any particular thing you're trying to manage, like a project, an intern, etc.? In the meantime, I'm just going to send this on the thread and on Twitter. Targeting my breaking change PRs against a new V6 branch. I remember I had an intern once, and then very late in the internship, management changed what the expectations were for what an internship, well, like what an intern needs to do to get an offer, and it was really upsetting. It was a whole argument that we had, and oh boy. This PR doesn't have approval and has a thread that I might have forgotten about. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that to the beginning, or to the last of the queue. Feature ESLint plugin, include lesser configs and recommended strict. Ooh, Brad. Thank you, Brad, for editing this. Brad never actually approved it, though. Oh boy. Merge conflicts. All right, let's start resolving these. Yay, coding! GHPR checkout this thing. Merge main. Where are my conflicts? All right. And just accept both. So this is for the ESLint config in the repo, so how we lint our own code. And I had, in this branch, removed plugin TypeScript-ESLint recommended because, okay, what is this PR actually? I should announce. posting in the chat. Whee! Let's see here. Solving word conflicts on this old friend. Ooh. Managing a rewrite of an app in production with 60 people. Bad habits are easy to pick up. Yeah, and hard to get rid of. Only 2 people can really openly discuss problems. Everyone else seems to just love one ticket for a whole sprint. That's all planned out for them. Oh, that's so frustrating when people don't go within the spectrum of work out of the very basic expectations to make things better around them. I really hate that. I think that if you're working, you should, again, within the bounds of time, I'm not saying spend time out of work that you're not being paid for, you should try to make situations better. Discuss problems. Think of solutions. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I'm actually giving a talk in Berlin in a week. Lead Dev Berlin. On this. That touches on some of these things. Where's my talk? And it's not on the agenda. Well, I'm giving a talk called Lessons Learned from where did it go? Lessons learned from refactors and re-architectures. Why am I not in the lead dev website? This is great. There we go. Conference session. All right. I'm actually giving a talk on this, or that touches on that stuff. But yeah, my condolences you're dealing with that. But hey, problems at work you have to deal with are the only good way, the only effective way to learn how to deal with them. So best of wishes in your role. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so this pull request include lesser configs and recommended /strict. Right now on TypeScript-ESLint, if you want to include our strictest rule sets, like the ones that we really recommend or the even more strict ones, you have to include them explicitly. So on top of including the recommended rule set, you also have to include recommended requiring type checking if you want that one. And then on configurations, if you want our strictest one, that's 3 configs to extend from, which is real annoying. So in this pull request, I changed the rules sets so that each one includes all the prior ones, the less strict ones. Recommended requiring type checking also includes recommended. Strict, you can just include that without including the other ones. Whew. Thank heavens. All right, so I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know why this ordering changed. So yeah, that's going to be good. So plugin TypeScript-ESLint recommended. We no longer need to include explicitly. We can just include recommended requiring type checking. Yay. And then accept both changes. See this file in our repo. This is our strict config list, and you can regenerate all of them with yarn generate configs. Nope. Yarn generate dash configs. Ugh. Oh, it's probably in the specific package. We're on a monorepo. CD packages /ESLint dash plugin. Yarn generate configs. Oh boy. And somehow we are on a version of Chalk. I've seen this issue before. It's mentioned in the pull request. Generate dash configs TS. The Chalk repo is a really nice CLI that lets you add colors in your terminal. It's on a ECMAScript modules, which we haven't migrated to be able to use. It's like a new module, new format for including files. So just temporarily, I'm going to stop using Chalk in this file. Annoying. All right. And I'm going to undo changes to this file. Git status, git add all. So now my strict config has been recreated. Oh boy, first time chat, welcome, Andy 1984. I wonder if you're that age or just a big fan of George Orwell. Either way, +1 to you. Just being here, giving a big thanks to all your work on TypeScript-ESLint. Oh, thank you. Oh. I was lost the whole day in a roll-up config change in V3, which is okay. That triggered a bug in a famous CSS and JS Babel plugin that is known but seems not very active, maintained since a few months. No blame, just especially appreciating your work in open source. Thank you. I really appreciate you popping in here to say that. Made my day. Well, one of the things that made my day, along with all the Vercel announcements, and apparently an earthquake, and then also Viable clan member having similar management pains. But yeah, no, that's welcome to open source, I guess. Like that's painful to hear, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. But you know, that is the world we live in. I've seen actually some people start to try to tackle funding in open source. There's this new thing, thanks.dev, that I'm kind of excited about. Oh yeah, no, the earthquake's in California. Apparently there's this very mild tremor at the Vercel conference. The camera was shaking. Thanks.dev looks kind of promising. We actually use, oh shoot, I keep forgetting the name of it, TideLift. Not that one, TideLift.com. So like companies can give money to TideLift, which will distribute the money automatically to their dependencies. You know what? 1984 is a good year to have been born. I feel like you enjoyed the 90s. Meanwhile, I was either not born for a third of them or just too young to appreciate them for the rest of it. But yeah, I'm almost 30. I'm getting up there. Anyway, I hate to respond to your kindness with a beg for money, but you know, if you or your company uses us, or honestly, or even that Babel plugin, we would love your contributions, whether they're code or maintenance or documentation or just, you know, money. All those things. Yeah, I'm honestly glad you had a great childhood. I've learned more and more over the years, learned how important and useful, maybe not necessary, but really nice it is to have a good one. My brother just had a couple of kids, so I've been experiencing that again. But also, thank you, Viable clan member. The talk is, when is it? It is next week. Lead Dev Berlin. When is that? Lead Dev Berlin 2022. Here we go. Yeah. November 3rd. So if you want to attend remotely, I actually don't know. Do they have remote tickets? I feel like they do. Digital. Yeah. Ooh, little pricey. But thank you. I post all my conference talks on my website, joshuakgoldberg.com. So on November 2nd, or even earlier perhaps, I will post the link to the slides there. And the slides will have like very detailed captions, and alt text or images. Yay, accessibility. I've had to redesign my site for like ages now. I'll get to it eventually. Anyway, yeah. So merge branch main. So I actually have a couple of nitpicks here. In this pull request, have recommended strict configs include lesser configs. I feel like we should include ESLint recommended in recommended.ts. Configs/ESLint recommended. Do we include that? Oh, this is just a compatibility rule set that disables rules from ESLint recommended. Yeah, I feel like it might make sense for us in our recommended rule set to also include the ESLint recommended rule set. Because in our docs, where is it, configurations, we say you should extend ESLint recommended. But in our docs wait, is this just like a silliness in our docs? We recommend including ESLint recommended and plugin TypeScript recommended. So I'm just gonna do this in the PR and see what people say. Ooh, for the sponsoring, definitely rotate my personal ones every now and then, but also fighting my team that we get more active on this topic. Unfortunately, we only did one-time payment some years ago, but not doing a monthly one. It's so hard to convince people to sponsor. I feel you. The only successes I've had have generally been from tying it into recruitment. Like developers like you, if you do this thing, get your name on a README. Medium, Codecademy, open source. We posted an article here. Oh, Andy, are you in Berlin? So this explains like the ones that we donated to, and like how we were able to convince people to do that. What rules from core do yours rely on? I want to say none. We explicitly don't. So our base config just includes some options. Our ESLint recommended config. This is not a great name. It should be like disable ESLint recommended things. Oh, wait, no. I guess these prefer const, prefer rest params, prefer spread, valid type of. Okay. I like it when the rules in ESLint plugins only refer to their own rules. You know what? That rings a bell. That might be why we didn't extend them. Yeah. Okay. You know what? You've convinced me. I'm remembering an old conversation, I think, of just keeping it as is. I have a tendency to forget things. So yeah, let's just not change this like months old, 6 month old, whatever PR. Okay. +1. I also like it when rules in ESLint plugins only refer to their own. I feel like plugins should provide rule sets that are specifically for theirs, and then other people, like personal users or equivalents of ESLint plugin Airbnb. Money topics. Yeah. One idea I've been kicking around is we should make like a badge companies can have. Like you get an A grade or B grade or whatever based on your size, your profitability, or at least the public view of your profitability if you're pre-IPO. Like, oh, you are a Fortune 500 company and you give diddly squat to open source, you get an F. Or you give $200,000 a year, you get an A. $20 a month, you get a C. Whatever. Cool. All right. So that PR is merged from main. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Ooh, excuse me. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna push this back into the start of the queue. Let's go to the next one. Feature made base node.parent non-optional. Oh boy, this is another deep one. We have typing set up. Here, I'll actually just post this in the chat for y'all and on the Twitters. Another one. We have an AST node type that represents the base. The base node type. And just for folks who haven't used ASTs before, you can represent code, let message equals hi. You can represent code in a JSON-like form, like just a description of what's in your files, what contains what. This variable declaration declares one variable with the ID message and the initial value hi. And we have types representing all sorts of wacky things like async function, hi, and all this stuff. Previously, we marked that the parent property for a node, referring to the parent node, is optional in all of them, but that's not actually true. Most nodes have a parent property except for the very root node program. That's like the root of a root of a source file's abstract syntax tree, or AST. And I had a pull request that I sent in June. Was it July, August, September, October? Only 4 months old. That I made it non-optional and then fixed up types. So like, let's see. Here we go. All right. So like in some places I was able to remove the check of like, does the node.parent exist? Because it basically always exists in almost all nodes. So I made a new type node or token data, which represents like any node, including one that doesn't have a parent. And then base node does, I think, always have a parent. Yeah. And I even removed the to-do comment. Shout out anyone here, such as Adaran, who loves deleting code. I love deleting code. Yeah, so there's the base node, which just says parent, and then program, which is optional parent. This never used property exists only as a convenience for code that tries to access node.parents repeatedly. Love it. Not going to dig into that. I have a memory of that being really annoying. All right. So does this PR have merge conflicts? Yes, of course it does. Git checkout or GH PR checkout thing. Git merge main. Ooh, conflict. Indent new do not use index was deleted in main. Yeah, because we deleted that file. Okay. Just search. I don't have any more merge conflict markers. Awesome. Yarn build. All right. Cool. So the way our mono repo is set up, we use NX, which is like for Cell's turbo repo, but different company and different API. So I'm just running a build because I just merged from main, and there might be some breaking changes introduced that aren't merge conflicts, but are still type errors. And then you know what? Can I also run yarn lint? Do we have that set up? Yes. All right, so I'm just gonna push this. Oh. Git push. Oh boy. Writing prettier on 849 files. Great. Prettier is one of those tools that actually I feel like does not have major performance issues that should be addressed. I feel like everyone's rewriting everything in Rust, but Prettier is really fast, so maybe that's not a huge issue. Ooh, I wonder how much different is purely using NX without learner. Yeah, that's real interesting. One of the team members on TypeScript-ESLint actually works on the NX team, James Henry, and he's been kind of overhauling our config, along with Brad, over time to use less and less learner and more NX. At this point, I want to say we're mostly Lerna. I'm sorry, we're mostly NX. Ooh, dprint is the faster, prettier. Shame, I think it was abandoned. Oh yeah, dprint, that reminds me. I really like the person who made it, David Sherritt. I'll just look up dprint. Oh, David's back on, nice. Yeah, David wrote, oh shoot, what did David do that? I think he gave like a talk at one of the TS comps that I really liked. Oh my god, ESLint plugin dprint. Of course that exists. Oh, and it's from, I don't know how to say their name, unfortunately. Oh, Toru, but one of the big ESLint people. Who, fun fact, I still have a sponsorship set up because GitHub doesn't let you cancel things immediately. I just have a pending cancellation. I'm a big fan of this person. It's not a negative thing. I'm pending cancellation. I just canceled all my sponsorships when I went full-time open source. Great. But yeah, I think one of the reasons why dprint hasn't really caught on is that like he is prettier is fine. Like it's not really a big need for it. If we were to start from scratch, I think Rust would be nice. It'd be slightly faster, but who needs it? All right. Cool, so I ran lint and it's all happy, so that's good. So I'm gonna move this PR to the beginning of the queue, just moving on to the next one. All right, feature details, remove TS ESLint scope types. Another. Boop. GitHub is very weird with sponsorships, in my honest opinion. I don't understand the calculations sometimes, or it is my brain. No, I've seen weird things. I think you're right. I feel like it was like a program they started. I remember listening to a podcast with, I forget her name, but she was the person who instigated it or something. One of the like really senior sponsorships at GitHub people, saying how it was like initially started as like a very small thing that was growing iteratively. I hope they continue to work on it. I think it's really important. I also think, though, that personal sponsorships are not a majority solution for open source funding issues. The analogy I give is a little too harsh, but people throwing away or stopping using particular types of straws. Like I can't get a good plastic straw at restaurants anymore. I have to use these garbage paper ones. Yes, I'm in favor of helping the environment. I think our children deserve a planet. But the vast majority of the issue is systemic, that companies, organizations need to do more, both for the environment and for sponsoring open source. So like infuriating people and spending their time and money on straws is not going to fix things that might actually just make people focus on them to the exclusion of things that actually make a big difference. Calculation of sponsors to your general GitHub annual bills. It's interesting actually. I mean, I really like GitHub sponsorships. And I think especially making it easier for companies to sponsor things directly is fantastic. Yeah. I was so proud. I set up like a few $100 a month of Codecademy sponsorships when I was there. And then Codecademy has like thousands upon thousands of paying users and like spends thousands upon thousands of dollars a month on random other things like AWS. I'm sure the AWS bill was way higher. Like, come on. Scale, people, scale. Anyway, what are we doing? Remove ESLint scope types from utils. In v6, ESLint scope, like ESLint v8, started using package JSON exports. That means they no longer expose their internals. As such, we should remove the types from utils source. Ooh, I remember this. This was a complete deletion. Just a whole bunch of deletions. Oh, beautiful. Are there merge conflicts? No, it's just not up to date with main. So I'm going to update branch in the UI and move to the queue. All right. Next. Nice. That was a pure deletion one. Next. Yeah. I love this. I'm a very happy person if the performance of Prettier is our major problem in Node-RED. +1, Andy. +1. Yeah. What a world it's going to be, honestly. Imagine 2 years from now when all this stuff getting announced today and things we're working on now are settled. Like, while using TurboPack or an equivalent. Jest supports ECMAScript modules. TypeScript-ESLint perf is good because we finally were able to tackle it holistically. Like, what a beautiful world we're moving to. I'm so excited about it all. Fix ESLint plugin. Remove should track references option from schema. This is from this issue here. Remove should track. Oh, deprecated to be removed in next major. Should track ref. Hang on. I feel like this is just one of those things where like we probably could have just done this. We could have just done this as a minor release. It just doesn't really need to be breaking, but fine, whatever. There's just an option that's not used anywhere. Fine. Update branch, move to queue. That was easy. Yeah, Webpack, the Webpack people are great. I think people poop on Webpack a lot because it's been around in the open source world for a while, but they did such a phenomenal job, especially given what was coming around or what was popular before Webpack became popular. Like, they made an entire ecosystem and platform for a tool that just completely standardized so many variant things in building. Like, they did a wonderful job. And I want to say the TurboPack announcement, again with this, hitting the wrong link. It was like one of the big Webpack people, Tobias, I want to say. Yeah, Tobias Kauper is the creator of Webpack. So like, Tobias is, I'm sure, very pleased about seeing all the performance complaints getting resolved here. 10x faster than Vite. Ooh, them's fighting words. I remember when Vite came out and everyone was all, Webpack is dead now, and now Webpack is still alive. Cool. All right. Feature ESLint plugins, sort type union intersection numbers, rename to sort type constituents. 700 times faster. So good. Ditto. All right. This one I sent 5 hours ago, actually. I was working before the stream. Fun fact, the correct, to my understanding, which may or may not be right, term for the different types in a union or intersection is constituent. TypeScript-ESLint. If you look up TypeScript-ESLint constituent, one of the rules we wrote is no redundant type constituents. Like if you put any or foo. What the heck is the new gulp? I mean, there are some strong analogies there. I was a big gulp person. Some of my old repos, I think, are still on gulp and gulp TypeScript and all that. All right, well, it was really nice chatting with you. Thanks for dropping by. Good luck with your open source roll-up shenanigans. Yeah, so the term for these things is not members or elements, to my knowledge. It is constituents. And we had an old rule that called in sort type union intersection members instead of sort type constituents. So I sent this 5 hours ago. This is still up to date. Back of the queue. And that's all of them. So now I'm going to start well, first I'm going to make this PR ready for review and request reviewers. But yeah, I'm going to start sending PRs to the V6 bridge. Very exciting. Oh wait, no, there was this fella. Ooh, boy. This one looks more intense. Add support for assignment expressions. Oh, right. So we have this rule, preferred nullish coalescing, where instead of doing like if something is not null and something's not undefined, the thing or whatever, you can just prefer the question mark. Like if the two are equivalent. And then we also have a slight equivalence where if you know your thing is either a type or undefined and you check whether it's not undefined, then you can just do nullish coalescing, question mark. Previously, the rule did not recognize or equals. I don't even remember the term for this syntax. If you ever forget what something is called, by the way, pop it into AST Explorer and then look at the node. It's an assignment expression, so a nullish assignment expression, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Jake Bailey, who actually, fun fact, works on TypeScript, previously in the Python area, requested that we add support to our preferred nullish coalescing rule for assignment expressions. I don't know why it's so merge. Oh, it's merge conflict because it touches documentation. And I'm going to have to merge conflicts fix. Okay. Some actual merge conflicts on this one, with mostly around docs. I'm going to post, there we go. All right. So I got the pull request 5234, choose PR checkout, and merge main. So many merge conflicts. All right. See, I can tell this PR is really old, I guess from June, because it has a lot of conflicts in docs files. Since this PR was sent by me, I automated, / I should say we automated a whole bunch of stuff in how docs are generated. Like we used to have this big table in the README that just had a checked-in list of all the rules. But now that's auto-generated and on the website. So we can get rid of that merge conflict. We also automated a whole bunch on the docs files, the markdown files for rules. Like we added this fun little notice at the beginning of the file. Where does that go? I think it goes underneath the description. And you know what? I'm just going to check what the PR changed in the file. Oh boy. Huh. When I hit save on my keyboard, the Git highlighting goes away. Weird. Let's see what we changed. Prefer nullish .md, whatever. Coalescing.md. Here we go. Oh my god, what? So there are very few changes. It's really just adding in mentions to assignments. We'll check out main. Well, thanks for hanging out. Bye bye, welcome member. Here we go. I appreciate you chatting. And good luck with the management stuff. All right. I also redid a bunch of docs since this PR came out. So now I have to look through. All right, so for knowledge chaining, I added this paragraph. So what is this? Enforce using the knowledge coalescing operator instead of logical assignments or chaining. I think that's the real change. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to do the like fancy GitHub viewed checking to see which file I've gotten to. Okay, so the readmes, I'll just go through in order. The PR, no conflicts here. Done. ESLint plugin docs rules readme. Yep, I can delete this whole thing. Replace with the auto-generated rule table. Boop. Done. Next up, the markdown file. This operator. This rule reports when you can safely replace an operator with question mark and or equal operator with question mark equals. Okay, there we go. All right, and then we also looked at correct and incorrect code. Oh, this file doesn't use the like nice tabs. A lot of our rules have like this nice little tab view. This file doesn't use it. Okay, still an if A or B. All right, add in this fella. So A or B, and then also A or equals B. I'll add in a while loop. Similarly, the corrected code also has things added. While parentheses A or equals B. And then also we have A or B and C later on. Let's put A or equals B and C. And then one more down on line 137. Whatever that is, we have an or equals. Great. That's the docs file. Next up, we have the rule itself. Oh boy, this one looks like it might be a little more complicated. I'm gonna, oh God. Oh no, this is a lot. I'm gonna have to actually work on this one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna completely reset the file to check out main branch version, and then I'm just gonna add in the parts of it one by one that I changed. So like the message IDs, prefer nullish over or, prefer nullish over ternary, or suggest nullish. Here we have suggest nullish looks like it was split into assignment and logical. Let me zoom in once. Nullish assignment, nullish logical. Then you know what, these are also split, so this is getting annoying, but prefer nullish assignment over or, prefer nullish logical over or, and then the same for over ternary. I'm wondering if there's going to be an opportunity later on to templatize this a little bit more. But that's fine. All right. So now we have to duplicate these messages also. Look at these giant things. I prefer nullish assignment. Oop, I made a typo up here. Assignment over or. And for nullish logical over or. Why is this complaining? Oh, it's a lint complaint. So prefer using knowledge coalescing operator. So one of these is equals. Just have a logical assignment. Okay, so it's in this one it's prefer knowledge coalescing operator thing instead of a logical assignment. The other one, it's prefer knowledge coalescing over instead of a logical OR. So it's just logical assignment versus OR. So that looks like it could be templatized. Anyway, prefer knowledge over ternary. This one also can be or needs to be changed. Assignment and logical. You know, I'm getting tired of typing these things out. For knowledge over OR. So I'm just going to add a message description equals. So what I'm doing here is I'm templatizing it, so in the rule complaint, we'll be able to insert a description and an equals as strings here. So we only have to do this, these message IDs, one each of these. I don't want to have to keep writing out so many message IDs. Okay, for knowledge over ternary. So this also needs an equals. Oh, that just is a question mark. Oh, wait. I think it was ternary that was added. So, yeah. Okay, so this just needs an equals. Then suggest knowledge. Great. What do I have? All right. Okay, then. So that's that area. I've fixed up my rule IDs. Force suggestion fixer that deleted in this PR must have been dead code because that doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Here, let's just look. Oh my God, it's so complex. Why do we do this to ourselves? Okay. I don't want to do this. Okay. It was so much more simple until whatever PR came in 3 months ago. Add ignore ternary tests option. Let's look at it. Shout out drinking water. Very healthy, very good. Would recommend. This is why I hate complicated things. Ugh, it made the... I'm not pooping on the PR, by the way. Like, this is what happens, you know? We need to support complicated use cases so the code gets complex. I remember trying to refactor and not being able to. Okay. Okay, so I see that this PR actually really just added code, which I really appreciate. They didn't change the existing checks too much. So I could just, excuse me, apply the same changes as before to the logical expression area, and then add in the new stuff or try to modify the newly added conditional expression stuff. In other words, because I don't know what I just said, because this 3 months ago pull request didn't really change the checks for the logical expressions, I can do the same changes that my PR did to logical expressions. So that's nice. So looking down here, these like 2 checks down here used to only take in the general TSES_tree.node. Now I'm going to say they're specifically taking in assignment or logical expressions. This one is mixed logical expression. Said logical expression. I guess this one could still take in node TSES_tree.node. I guess I didn't need to change that. Nice. All right. Wish there was a way to collapse code in a file. Okay. Moving up. So I added this check. My God. I'm just going to collapse conditional expression. I added this check node function, which I might want to rename to something more specific. Rename to something more specific. Because it doesn't check conditionals, it just checks logical expressions. Ooh, my Chrome just bugged out for there a minute or a second. I don't know if y'all saw it, but like I got a weird overlay. Anyway, I'm just copying the green added lines now because that's a good way to get the change code in. Also the unchanged lines. Copy and pasting like a good developer. Okay, here we go. And then instead of the logical expression operator thing, we are adding in these two fine friends. Extra squiggly or bracket there. Okay. So we're saying any assignment expression operator is question mark equals, and any logical expression. So instead of calling it check node, I'm going to call it, let's say, check assignment or logical expression. All right. And it takes in 3 parameters, node, and then 2 strings, which I'm betting are the message IDs, which is why it's complaining. Argument of type blah is not assignable to parameter type message IDs. Okay, so I need to update this. I just forget, what are my message IDs? Prefer nullish over or. Aha. So prefer nullish over or. It's the same. And then suggest nullish. So it's actually the same message IDs in both ways. I've just templatized them now. So what I actually should take in is the stuff that I passed in here. So it's a description and equals. So this one is over or equals. So this is assignment is the description instead of a logical assignment. And then the equals is equals. Whereas this one is or and blank. So let me just change that signature. So it is description, string, and equals string. Why are you complaining? Oh, defined and never used. Okay. So now when why are these commented out? No. It looks like a looks like a to-do I'd written. Refer nullish over or, and then this one is suggest nullish over or is what I should call it. And it's complaining, very nice, that it's missing the placeholders, equals, and description. All right, so that's data equals description. And then this one is missing, oh, it's just nullish over or. And it's missing, what? Why is it still complaining? Whatever, I'm gonna add in the data it needs. Suggest nullish over or. Data is, what does it need? Equals. By the way, I realize I'm like kind of breezing through these. Please do let me know if I'm going too fast. It's hard to know what to explain here, and sometimes I just don't want to do a particular thing that I have to. All right. So I have ported over the previously existing stuff from my pull request. Now we also have conditional expressions that were added, and I need to update the message IDs. Prefer nullish over ternary, which is missing equals. And the code someone added for conditionals didn't account for the equals stuff, so I should probably to do account for these. The message is suggest nullish. Oh, so I guess I didn't need to call it suggest nullish. Just call it suggest. Or I could call it suggest nullish, not that over or. Okay. And then the data is equals. So the real to do is also account for equals in the ternary. I mean, the stream's going to go longer than I wanted, but the nice thing is I actually got to code today. Yay, merge conflicts. Okay. So cd packages, ESLint plugin, yarn, jest, prefer, nullish, coalescing. See if this passes. Oh boy. Nope. Merge conflicts in the tests. This is a really nice view of them, actually. Respect. Okay. Oops. So, you know what? I'm going to do the same strategy here. I don't really feel like going through the merge conflicts. Just going to reset it to main. Oops. The relative path is inside the plugin. All right. And this is going to have a bunch of failures probably because I need to update the message IDs, I think. Oh, no, it doesn't. Wow, look at that. So all the existing code passes. I just need to also add in tests from my PR and then also have ternaries support equals. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm pleased with this. I'm also getting tired, so I don't know how much longer I'll keep going. I do kind of want to dive into all those Vercel announcements. We'll see how this goes. All right, so let's just mark that as viewed. Oh boy. Oh boy. Large diff. Love it. So the first thing is, this is a pattern that some test files do where we auto-generate tests. Like here, it looks like we're auto-generating. We create the same tests on different types, string, number, Boolean, object, and then also on different nullish types. So we have the same tests on type unions that contain null or undefined or null or undefined. And here I've added to the callback a second parameter, the equals parameter. So, oh, this is cool. I remember this now. I create two types. I create it with the equals sign, and then I create it with without the equals sign. So we double the number of tests. Yay! All right, line 68. Let's see. Declare const x. Oh, we say change that to a let. I don't remember why. This takes in a type and an equals. And then, oh, I remember this now. Yeah. I interpolate the equals there. So in creating the valid tests here, we're saying I'm going to create a test for x being the type, and then I'm based on whatever the type is, and I'm also going to maybe include an equals or not include an equals there. All right, word. Same again here. X is a let now because we need to be able to add the equals operator. And it looks like I added another type after this one, another test, pardon me. Cool. I don't know why I didn't templatize with an equal sign there, but I'm guessing it was just too complex. I'm not going to look into it too deep. All right. So I've hit line 84, and I have to get to line 736. In the words of Jack Donaghy in 30 Rock, good God. Let's keep going. Line 89. Ignore conditional tests. Oh wait, is that a... Okay, this has been moved around. So declare... I'm just going to find and replace all declare const x's with declare let x's. Why not? That settles that one. And then type or nullish this friend here. It looks like oh geez, it's hard to read this diff. I've added a case similar to these ones where it's also x or equals foo null null. Looks like that's what I added. These are hard to read. And then on top of the while case, I've also added one that's if x or equals foo. Another couple let changes, a few let changes, actually a lot of let changes. I'm already up to line 150, good for me. All right. On to D, type or nullish. And I'm looking for A or B or C and D. So I'm just gonna add another test right here. A or equals B and C, got it. Man, this must have been such a pain to write, however long I wrote it to go. Good for me, powering through this. I hope I didn't do it on stream. It seems like it would be annoying. All right, so A and B or C or D. That's nullish type valid test. That's right here. Oh boy, sneeze. Ooh, excuse me. All right. A and B, or A or equals B or C and D. Great. Sure. We have some .trims, but trim is something we removed in a previous pull request, so I'm not going to worry about that. All right. Then we have a whole new set of tests here. X question mark foo, and then question mark equals. I'm just gonna start adding those. We don't need the trim ends. Oh God, I'm gonna have to manually close these parentheses and such. Oh boy. Nice. That looks like it got added. What is the message? It's not prefer nullish assignment, it's prefer nullish over or. Suggest. Now, I'm not updating these message IDs too much because I don't need to, but I will need to add in data for them, I think. Well, I will want to at least. All right, I'm about, what is this? Quarter, halfway, third of the way through. Let's see if I'm still passing all tests. 2/5 of the way through, let's say. So close. Actually, not even close. Jeez, oh my God, this is such a pain. All right. Oh boy. What's my first failing test? Scrolling through these. Oop, there we go. Swanzor, welcome to the stream. I'm making myself upset. I'm updating this old pull request here. I'll rebump it in the chat. Prefer knowledge coalescing, add support for question mark equals. And you know what? I'm just gonna restart work on this because I must have messed something up. So I resolved merge conflicts in the source file, but I need to also bring in new test shenanigans. So in the test, they're auto-generated in part with this type valid test, which now also in addition takes in an equals, and then generates test cases for or, and then also generates test cases with or equals. And I did a couple of batch changes. I switched all declare consts to, rather just all consts to let in the old PR. And then in every call to type valid test, Now in the one call to type valid test, I also add in that equals here. Is there only one call to nullish type valid test? Yeah, I feel like this could also take in the equals. I'm going to do that. Equals string. So let's see if that auto generation works. Alrighty. And let's rerun tests. Please work. Yay! Alright. So now what I need to do is, oh my god, yeah, I'm not a fan of this. It's a kind of complicated rule and it has a lot of edge cases to cover, so I'm glad that we have high test coverage, but it's a pain in the butt to work with right now. Let me let me tell you. Or show you rather. Yeah, so what's happening is we're auto-generating a bunch of them, and then there are a whole bunch of valid cases like this should not complain. And what I'd done in the original PR is I duplicated some cases where like, in addition to saying that like x question mark foo should be, what is this? It's not a, here we go. We should also have x question mark equals be a thing. Just run test again. I have long since given up having an extension that shows me real-time test updates. One of these days I'll try one again. All right. Here we have x, which is, all right. So I've also just, I remember now, I had like duplicated a bunch of these tests next to each other. So like in addition to checking x or foo, we also check x equal foo equals, does this not take an equals? It does take an equals. So I'm just gonna plop that equals there. And you know what? I can do that for a bunch of these tests, actually. I'll just do it all at once. That equals that or, and that one. Look at all these different cases that the rule tests. Beautiful. I used to use, what was it, the Jest extension, and then I had major performance issues with that, and then I did Wallaby, and then I had major performance issues for that, and you know what, I gave up. Aha! 12 failed! Okay. So you know what, I shouldn't have mass changed so many tests at once. Let's see if this one is still happy. Should have had no errors, but had one. When x or equals foo, question mark, null or null. Right. Yes, equals is either an empty string or a string containing equals. In these test generators, we iterate over, let's say, all the types that you could want, and then we call back with the type and equals, and call back with type and not, or the empty string. But the PR that I had sent, the reason why there's so many annoying merge conflicts is because someone had, in the interim, added an option for the rule to check conditional expressions. So I need to also add in logic for conditional expressions. So that's why this, I'm going to open these side by side now. That's why this friend here is complaining, I think, because we don't check conditional expressions. Wait, what is a condition? I've already forgotten what a conditional expression is. Oh boy. Let me just go ahead and look at that PR. I've also been streaming for an hour and a half, and this is normally when I start to poop out. So I might finish soon. We'll see. But yeah, so by conditionals, we mean ternary statements, right? So what I need to do is add logic to this rule to check ternaries. Okay, so I'm just saying that there's one check for the or operator. And let me just see if I can do or and or equals dot, what was it, includes no test operator. Let's go there. Very nice. And then there's another one. Let's see if we can do the same logic here. Or and then also or equals dot includes. So here I'm expanding the code that was written in the interim to also allow and. Oh no, it's not and, just or. Get out of there. Okay. Marathon session today. All right, still failing. Great. Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna know my limits on this one. I am tired, and it's been an hour and a half. So I'm sorry, Nico and friends. I'm gonna have to poop out today. But this was a very fun stream. One last thing, let me know if there's anyone you think I should raid. But just to recap, I got through most of the pull requests that I have. The goal here was Nico and other friends. I just assumed you're friends with everyone on the stream, like all the other chatting people, you know. But yes, I think of us as friends. I would like to meet you in person one day. That would be nice. Bonded by emojis on the internet. Yeah, so the goal of this whole thing was that we're going to do a major release of TypeScript-ESLint soon, and I wanted to fix merge conflicts in PRs before we merge into the V6 branch. So I almost did it, but then this fella here, this add support for assignment expressions, this just, whew lordy, too much for me, too much. So yeah, all right. I'm going to raid CM Griffing, always a reliable channel. This was a pleasure. Thanks and bye. Enjoy the Vercel announcements.